Hi, this is Darren from ALO Upholstery and Interiors. Today I'm going to show you how to upholster this headboard. So right now I'll be marking a band 4.5 inch thick all the way around, and then I'll be using a 1/2 inch cardboard as a guide when I do staple the fabric on it. So once that's done, I'll be using 2-inch soft foam. After that, I'll be using a thin layer of fiber so that it gives it a nice soft touch to it. Now I'll be using a cream color linen fabric like this. So right now I like to lock all the sides first and then the corners. After that, I like to staple the bottom first since it's easy to see the grain of the material. Once that's done, I'll be doing the middle top. You want to pull it a little tight and make sure the grain of the fabric is still running straight. Now I'm stapling a little as I go and releasing the staples I locked in earlier. Pretty much the best way is to leave the corners last so you can pull it tightly and have no wrinkles. Now I'm just cutting close to the staples as I can, so I could reuse it as a top band instead of cutting another material and wasting it. Now I'm flipping the fabric on the opposite side and I'm drawing right on the staples. So when I do staple it, I'll be using that as my guide. So right now I'm drawing a 45-degree angle. You want to draw 2 marks. The outer mark is the area where you'll be cutting and the second mark inside. So now I'm drawing 2 marks. Pretty much the outer side is where you'll be cutting and you'll be sewing 1/2 inch, which is the inside. So for the side band, it's pretty much the same as the top band. You draw it again at a 45-degree angle and cut the outer side. And the inside, where the second mark is where you sew. Now I'm using 1/4 inch piping pushed tightly to the staples. I'll be doing this all the way around. Now I'll be making sure the stitching of the fabric is exactly at the corner of the piping. I like to lock all the corners first. Now I'm following my pencil mark I drew in earlier on the band and stapling it down. Now I'm using 1/2 inch cardboard pushed tightly towards the piping so you won't see any stitching on the pipings. So now I'll be using 1 inch foam stapled beside the cardboard only because I'll be using nail studs later. Now I'm just cutting the foam even with the edge of the wood all the way around. For the leg area, I'll be using 1/4 inch foam only. Now I'll be stapling at the edge of the frame and then I'll be using another band on top of it, which you will see a little later. Now I'll be using a 1/4 inch piping. Now I'll be stapling a 3 inch band all the way around the frame. Now I'm using 1/2 inch cardboard pushed tightly towards the piping. Now I'm using 1/2 inch foam. So the nail studs I'll be using looks like this. I'll be nailing it side by side. I'll be doing this all the way around. This will be the type of mechanism I'll be using for this queen size bed. So screwing this down will depend on the legs you use for the bed frame. Now I'll be stapling the black lining for the back. So the side rails will be 80 1/4 inch by 9 inch height by 1.5 inch thick. I'll need 2 pieces. And the footboard will be 64.5 inch by 9 inch height by 1.5 inch thick, 1 piece. Now I'll be gluing 1/2 inch foam and then a thin layer of fiber after that. So now I like to lock everything in place and still make sure the grain of the material is still running straight. Now I'm cutting it at a 45-degree angle. So now I'm just cutting some fabric off so it's not so bumpy. So now I'm using a black cotton fabric and then I'll be using cardboard. So for the foot rail, it's pretty much the same thing, locking everything in place and stapling it down with a black cotton lining. So this is how the finished product looks. So thank you for watching, and if you liked the video, please give me a big thumbs up and don't forget to share it. Thank you. Bye.